Good evening, everyone, and thank you for watching the Town Board Work Session. This is Wednesday, July 25th. Councilman Lupinacci is going to be a few minutes late. Supervisor Schmidt is on a well-deserved vacation, so we're going to get started. I'm sorry, we have Joe Charbonneau, our legal counsel, Annie Pasquarella, Mike Simone, and Jimmy Gilchrist, and Rich Franzetti here from the town. The rest of the town board members are here, so Annie Pasquarella, will you please say the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please take a few moments of silence for all our brave men and women in the military, that God watches over them and brings them home safe and sound to their families.
Wonderful. Thank you, Annie. So do I need a motion to open up the meeting? Joe, do I need a motion to open up the meeting, the work session meeting, or no?
No.
No, okay. So the first item on the agenda is to review the town board minutes. Does anybody have any questions on those? No? Okay. The second is Joe Charbonneau, Special Legal Counsel, consider petition for Society Hill and Mahopac to incorporate pursuant to Article 10 of Transportation Corporation Law. Joe, if you just want to briefly explain what this is?
Sure. By way of background, in 1986, a transportation corporation entitled the Cedar Hills Sewer Works Corporation was formed to operate the wastewater treatment plant facility at Society Hill. At that time, permission was required from the town of Carmel in order to operate that under 116 of the New York Transportation Corporation Law. In January of this year, the DEP and Society Hill reached an agreement where they were going to jointly fund a refurbishment of the existing wastewater treatment plant, with the DEP paying approximately 2/3 of the cost of that refurbishment. Effective in June 24th, 1992, the Cedar Hill Corporation dissolved. As such, in order to move forward with respect to the refurbishment, Cedar Hill and Society Hill must reestablish a new corporation before undertaking the refurbishment project. So they basically have to have a new transportation corporation in effect in order to be able to fund and manage that work. Cedar Hill Sewer Works Corporation 2 has been requested to be formed. It's to be established wherein Society Hill will manage and run the wastewater treatment plant. The homeowners association is going to own all of the outstanding shares of stock. They can't move forward with respect to this unless they have permission from the municipality. Back in 1986, the town of Carmel gave them permission, and they're simply requesting permission from the town under the Transportation Corporation Law to reestablish that corporation so it can continue to work and manage the Society Hill wastewater treatment plant.
Okay.
So, and I spoke with Greg Fulchetti, and he said if the board is in agreement, he'll have a resolution prepared next time. The only thing in the past, we may want to ask the town engineer to report or make a report or any recommendations as to whether or not there's any objections to forming the corporation. Greg didn't believe that there was, and he had asked that the petitioner provide a copy of any long-term leases or conveyance documents so that we have those for our records as well.
Okay, thank you. I know Rich sent, if Rich, would you come up? He sent an email out to the board earlier, I believe saying that he did not have any objections, but I'll let you speak on this.
That's exactly it. So Greg had made that request of me to review it. I have no objection, as this is the reforming of an already existing transportation district, so there's no other comments with that from the engineering department.
Okay. Does any board member have any comments on it? So if it's okay for you, if you guys don't mind, I don't want to wait till the end of the meeting, because I know Joe needs to go to another meeting, and I believe that there's one woman who's been here for several times now when it wasn't on the agenda. If you don't mind, if you have any comments, or did you need to say anything?
No, I mean, everything he said was right. We are redoing the wastewater treatment plant, and our funds are in place, as our D&P funds. So we're just right now going out for bids and redoing the whole building, but we do need the transport approved.
Okay, so if everybody's okay, we'll have Greg do a resolution for next week.
We did this for Williamsburg Ridge like 4 years ago or 6 years ago, something like that, I believe.
I think so.
Williamsburg Ridge, I think we did it like 5, 6 years ago, same thing.
Okay, good. Joe, thank you.
Okay, no
So-
problem. Thank you.
You can go.
I appreciate that. I'd rather stay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The second item is Michael Carnazza, our building inspector, and it's just regarding a property cleanup on 105 Longdale Road. He's made several attempts to contact the owner of the above-mentioned property to clean, mow, and maintain the property, and they found out, they got an explanation. Unfortunately, the owner passed away a few years ago, so he's just asking permission to go ahead and put it on the list for cleanup. Does anyone have any? Nope, good? Okay. The third and fourth is Rich Franzetti. So Rich, if you want to come up. The first is a bond return for the Ronan property. They're asking for the complete bond return. I believe it's of $37,800. The original bond was posted for $189. It was reduced to $151,200 in October of 2017. And I guess they did an inspection June 15th, and all the site improvements required have been completed. So, Rich, if you have,
You basically read my memo, thanks.
did I? I read a
Yeah,
little
so
bit of
this is,
each.
this is on Secor Road. This is a property that has been in front of the planning board. As you mentioned, Councilwoman McDonough, there was an original bond amount posted of $189,000. They asked for a bond reduction. They received $151,000 in change in a reduction. The town held $37,800 because some of the site features weren't completed. They went and completed those site features. This has gone through the planning board process. Mike Carnazza has visited the site. He had no comments. Everything was there. And, this is ready to have the bond return. It's been approved by the planning board. It just needs to be approved by the town board.
Just
Okay.
the commercial piece, right?
Yes, it's next to the deli, yes.
They connected to the sewer.
They're an out-of-district sewer connection and out-of-district water connection, correct.
Perfect, thanks.
Does anyone else have any questions? Nope. Okay. So number 4 is also the town engineer. It's a request for payment for repair. So, Rich, go ahead, you can explain.
So this is being presented to the board. These are invoices that are over the town of Carmel's procurement policy threshold. Summary of work that was performed in Carmel Water District 12. There were saddle repairs at both 40 and 44 Emily Lane. On June 21st, Infomark, the operators of Carmel Water District 12, notified the engineering department of a water leak in front of 40 Emily Lane. When they investigated it, it was determined that 2 saddles in the area were leaking. They provided the work to perform the repair, and it was in the cost of $8,597. And then Carmel Water District 12 again, saddle repairs at 57 and 58 Jennifer Lane on June 20th. Same Infomark, the operators of Water 12 notified the engineering department of a water leak in front of the said address. It was determined that the saddle for a residence was leaking. Cook performed the excavation and the repair, and it cost $5,105. We've advised the controller of this expenditure, and there are sufficient funds in the budget for this work. This work is being completed. It's just a matter of formalizing the payment for this.
Does anyone have any questions? Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
The next
Thanks,
one is a memo from Pat Jenna. She is requesting authorization to apply for the 2018-19 JCAP grant. She came in the other day, and Annie asked if it could be put on the agenda, and we put it on the agenda. And really, all it is a authorization from the town board to allow her to apply for the 2018-19 Justice Court Assistance Program, which is JCAP grant, and the Unified Court System budget includes a $3 million in JCAP funding for this fiscal year. Pat's been very great in getting these grants.
Yes.
And that's why, I think we all would agree to put it on the agenda, and we can move forward with it. Does anybody have any questions?
No, she's done this in the past, and we've gotten floors out of it,
Yeah,
podiums out of it, daises out of it, walls out of it,
yeah, she's
metal
really,
detectors, so she's doing a great job with it.
she's done a really good job. Thank you, Pat. So number 6, Councilman John Lupinacci and the Director of Recreation and Parks, Jimmy Gilchrist, is to consider proposal for engineering services, the Town of Carmel Airport Park Design and Construction Phase. So, John and Jimmy, if you want to run with this one?
Sure. This would be for the airport park that we'll be developing, hopefully going out to bid sometime in September. That's our plan. And the Recreation Committee, the chairman and a number of the committee members have met with Inside Engineering, along with Councilman Lupinacci and Councilman McDonough, to go over these specifications for this job. And there's a breakdown of the fees. If you look at the second page, number 3, this is very similar to what we did with Camarda Park. These are budget numbers, so they can obviously go up or down based on if there's any problems that we run into or any change orders that go on. And for instance, with Camarda Park, there were no change orders that cost anything more for the town. So Inside Engineering did an excellent job keeping that on budget, and that was a $1.9 million project also, very close to what this one is. If you look at the first construction documents, we have the documents that were prepared to go out to bid in 2011. They need to be brought up to today's standards. There's some changes with the apprentice law and different things that need to go into that. Along with, we have a final, we only did a rough grade as part of that bid package. There is a final grade that we want to put in as a second phase to this project. So for instance, we'll have a contractor come in and do all the rough work first, level the area up to a certain point, and then go out for another bid for the final grading of the fields and either turfing them or seeding them, depending on which way we're going to go at that point. So that's where the $8,000 is based on that. The bidding would be obviously going through and vetting out the contractors. And then the construction phase work, if you look above, there's a breakdown of man hours. A lot of that work is required by the DEC, DEP. There's weekly meetings that are required. Inside Engineering has obtained all the permits for this project, so they're the perfect person to deal with them on that. And I feel very confident that this is a conservative number, that we will stay at or below this number. And we actually, when we went over the soft costs for this project, we had the soft cost coming in at $140,000. So it's almost, we're looking at 60,000 to 140 that's budgeted. So I feel this is an excellent proposal. They have a great track record with the town, so I would definitely recommend it.
Okay. I know we went out there, I don't know if it was last weekend or the weekend before, and we spent a few hours. Last Sunday, yeah, walking the property. And like you said, meeting with Jeff. So does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns on this?
No, just like Jimmy said, this is for phase 1. The rough work, leveling the fields, making the platforms for the fields, and then we will have a second phase and what do they call it? Playing field design, I think was what Jeff called it last time we were there. So I'm just excited to get this underway, and all good.
Yeah.
We'll be watching all the bills very closely.
Yep.
And the plan for this, just to give you somewhat of a timeline, as soon as the town board approves this, will be hopefully next Wednesday. We'll give Inside Engineering the go. They're going to get these bid packages together. We gave them a deadline to get them together by sometime in August. We've got to fine tune on that, and I know Dave Fafaro, our chairman, he really wants this out to bid in September. We have to see, that's our goal, but obviously we have to see how that's going to work out. And then the other piece is the county is working on the back end of the park with the drainage swale that goes down below Lake McGregor. The county executive was able to get a $100,000 grant for this project. Their highway department is putting that out to bid. I talked to John Tully last week. He said within the next 2 weeks. So they should have that work done before or right around when we're going out to bid. So that should work out well there.
So we'll just follow up with him, maybe in a week and a half.
Every week we will follow until these
Yes.
things get out. So.
Yeah.
Squeaky wheel gets to it.
Yep.
And-
So it goes from the bottom of the pile to the top.
Yes, yep.
Yep. All right, perfect.
All right.
Thank you, Jimmy.
You got it. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Jimmy.
Jim.
The next, Mary Ann Maxwell is Town Comptroller, is to consider the year-end 2017 LoSAP annual reports for the Carmel Volunteer Ambulance Corps. Hey, Mary Ann.
Hi, thank you. Yes, this is a LoSAP report, annual report that is prepared by PenFlex. So it's to consider accepting that report. The contribution that is recommended to be made in 2018 is $22,156. This fund, if you look at the second page, is funded at 113%, and that's an increase from 105 as of 12/31/2016. So the fund is it is a healthy fund. If you look at the next page, you'll see from 2012, the funded ratio was 99%, and then it fluctuated from 108 to 105, and then it went up to 113 as of the end of last year. So this is a fund that is combined with other LoSAP programs through the State Comptroller's Office. Actually controls this fund. So the state maintains and works with PenFlex to fund this. So it is a healthy fund. I'm waiting still on the fire departments, Carmel Fire Protection District 1 and 2. I'm waiting on their reports, and I'll present
And
that
then
to you
you'll
guys.
send that
Yes.
through. Okay,
So-
perfect.
Okay.
Yep. Does anyone
any
have
other questions?
Nope, thank you.
No? Mike, anything?
Thanks.
No? All right, Mary Ann, thank
Thanks,
you.
Mary
Okay.
Have a good one.
Next is Michael Simone has 1, 2, 3, the last three. The first one is to attend, he's requesting to attend the 2018 joint conference, which is in September.
Yes, it's the first joint conference we've had between the county and the town since I've been in office, and that's 18 years. So I don't know if they've had one before, but I think it's a very good idea for the county highway superintendents and the town highway superintendents to get together. And it looks like a very good schedule of conference material, and so I'm looking to go there, and it's within my budget that we've already approved. So.
Mike, where is it?
Upstate New York?
It's up in upstate?
No.
It's not the Ithaca conference, okay.
No.
Okay,
Turning Stone.
Oh, all right, good for you.
nice.
Should have made more incidentals.
I know when we used to, when we went to the, it was the Association of Towns, I think it was down in the city, I always thought that they were so informative.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they really are. That's one of the reasons, I think, why we went with the water meters.
Sure.
I mean, it was like 6 years ago, but,
Yeah, and again, you get all these people together in the same business.
and you pick the
right,
brains.
And
exactly.
first time in your career in the field to have it happen,
Yeah. Yep.
maybe there's big moves in New York State.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, does
Looking forward to a
anybody,
report back.
I think it's working bottom up, not top down.
yeah, so Mike, if you can, after you attend it, just give us like a lowdown of it
Okay.
afterwards,
Certainly will.
some things that you got out of it or whatever.
Not a problem.
All right, anybody else have any questions? Okay, so number 9 is consider request to authorize purchase of the diesel systems upgrade.
Yeah, this has been ongoing for the last
That's
couple of
been
years.
ongoing.
We finally put together all the numbers, and we've got a vendor that is ready to go ahead and put this in. I definitely want to push this. As we know, we're coming up on winter season. My fuel system, computerized fuel system, is really giving us problems right now. Seems like every third week we have a problem with and it's not a system that we can repair. We have little glitches in it that don't always read the same. But also the fact is that with winter and with my new trucks burning a lot more fuel, I need the capacity. Bless you.
Thank you.
So this whole plan, working and taking the 6,000, putting 6,000 here, putting the 4,000 up in Carmel, where we have, the satellite, we have 7 trucks that run out of there, helps us tremendously. We don't get caught, because right now, if we have a storm that's back to back, we could be out of fuel. And if it happens on a weekend where they don't truck it, we're out of fuel.
Yeah,
And
and then Carmel doesn't move.
no,
Okay.
we really, yeah. It's been a long time coming.
Yep.
The tank that we had put in, which is still well within the DEC regs, double-line cement tank, has been in capacity since 1999. That's when we put it in. So,
That's life.
but it's still good. That's why we're moving it up.
Right.
And
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's an important piece of information for the residents, that now if your trucks are up in Carmel at the far end, they don't
don't
have to
come back
come
here to
back
fill up.
here to fill
Right.
up.
Yep.
They're going to go to, I'm going to call it a substation. you
Yeah,
know, up
it
there-
is. I
up
mean,
there in
it's our
Carmel.
barn up there, but, and
Yeah.
we have a,
You guys have a salt shed there as
the
well.
salt shed there.
So
Yep.
now having fuel makes it
We have a trailer
no-brainer.
up there for the men
Yeah.
to overnight it in if we're there that long and whatever,
Yeah.
so they can rest. But
Anything
also,
on brine
not only that,
treatments
we have the brine station up there. A lot of stuff is up there.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the fact that we are having this hardwired into a telephone line, so all the information comes back to us here at Highway.
Okay, good.
So, I mean, we keep track of everything, so.
All right, good.
Mike, I'm surprised. The new trucks burn a lot more than the old trucks?
Oh.
I thought just the opposite.
That's what everybody thinks, but I'm telling you, we burn a lot
I
more.
would have thought too.
We're lucky if we
I
get
would've
4 to
thought just
5
the
miles to the
opposite.
gallon when we're loaded.
Really?
What did you previously get with the older trucks?
Oh, 9 to 11?
That's a,
So when we get new trucks, is there anything more fuel efficiency? There's
No,
not,
the
huh?
problem is.
we'll be talking about electric in
we
10
now-
years.
Right, well, maybe. The problem is that now with the fact that you have to have such a clean diesel engine, and that's also between the cost and the fact that it does. That's why on my small trucks, I went back to gas. Because it's really gotten quite burdensome
Yeah,
on the overall, I mean, health of the nation is one thing, but
yeah.
costing
I
us
was going to say,
dollars is.
it is healthier.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not,
Yeah,
not
I-
against it,
yeah.
but we got a plan for it, so.
yeah. All right, perfect. Does anybody else have any questions on this?
No, thank you.
Okay. Number 10 is, Mike again, consider request to authorize purchase of guide rails from Chemung Supply.
Yep, as every year, I go out and I have my bid for my guardrail. Chemung Supply got it. I now brought the man in and we went out and looked at everything between storm damage, winter cleanup, car accidents, everything we've got on there. We've got, which looks like, I think it's $14,000, almost $15,000 worth of guardrail to put in. Above our procurement policy, I need the board's okay, so I'm here for that.
All right,
All within my budget.
that's good.
Take it, these roads listed at the bottom are where you're looking at replacing?
Oh, are you on that? Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
have-
Do
yeah,
you wanna
get the
read that
packet.
off?
Sure, yeah. It's Bucks Hollow Road, Crest Drive, Kennecott Hill Road, Miller Avenue, Union Valley Road, and Washington Road. I think I was behind the car that went over the guardrail in Kennecott Hill Road that one day. In the snow, yeah. It was pretty bad. But that's where you're going to be putting the guardrails up.
Yep.
Prior to this winter.
Yes.
Anybody else have any questions? Comments? Perfect. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
So now we're going to open it up for, yeah, oh, Marianne, come on up.
With the diesel, the fuel, where it's going to be funded, how it's going to be funded.
Oh, yeah,
That's, yeah, no, I just wanted to mention that that's, we're going to be transferring money from the capital fund balance. There's $1 million in the fund balance, so we're going to transfer money to that. He's
That's for the
anticipating it's,
132.
yeah,
oh, that's the
132,
132.
yeah.
You know, I had that highlighted too.
That's okay.
I should have let you know, yeah.
Yeah, so you're anticipating it not to exceed the 132?
No, that's a not to exceed number. I'm going to bring it in under that. The numbers have been coming in lower.
Yep.
Right, because the 99,000 is the cost of the actual fuel system, but then you'll have additional electrical
Work, plus I have
costs,
to build
yeah.
a pad. that go
Exactly.
on.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
whatever cost that's going to be, it's going to be added into that.
Okay, so we'll have to include that in the budget
Okay, yeah,
revision.
I guess I should say, yeah, 132 from capital funds released in order to cover costs for the system, additional tank, materials and installation, plus cost to construct 2 concrete pads by the Highway Department and anticipated electrical upgrades.
Right,
So
exactly.
thank you for
Yep, I just
bringing
wanted to
that
make
up.
sure everybody was aware of that.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Mary Ann. So now we're going to open it up for public comment, 3 minutes on agenda item only, or in this case, agenda item or open meetings. Does anyone have anything to say? Come up.
I've got something to say about Mike
Yep.
Simone.
You can come on up.
Mr. Simone, I gotta get
No,
something
wait a minute.
off my chest. 12
Yep.
years is enough.
Just come up to the mic. I just need you to state your name.
Joseph Bezel. 23 Cuzzy Court.
Okay.
Mike.
Wait a minute. The first thing you have to do, you have to address us. You don't address anybody in the audience.
Okay.
You're addressing the town board.
Okay. This problem was with Mr. Simone. 12 years ago was supposed to take care of the problem. I have $90,000 of my property with damage. A driveway, well, and property. He put illegal gutter, and the water goes down my backyard. My driveway, it's all upside down because his fault. He's supposed to fix that problem. The snow plow comes there every winter and makes a mess. You people, you should come over, look at it, and bring to his attention, because he's not even has the decency to come over and look at it. Enough is enough, because he's gonna get the bill. And we have an estimate for, to fix the circle. If he doesn't do it, the town doesn't do it, we will hire a private contractor, because enough is enough.
What's the exact
12
address?
years, it's a saga.
What's the address?
What's the address again, sir?
23 Cuzzy Court, the cul-de-sac.
Okay.
And you see what the problem is.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Also, to Mike's own attention, there is a lot of guys that parking on the side of the road do not a thing. What do we pay $80,000 each man to drive around and look pretty? What do we pay them for?
I'm just gonna say, I think that they've been doing a wonderful job plowing and taking care of
They're
the
not
roads,
doing that. Believe
but
me,
I
I'll
am
take a
hearing your,
picture, I'll take a video with these
Yeah,
people sitting on the side
yeah,
of the road. He should be responsible for that. I'm sorry, Mike Simone, but enough is enough.
yeah, we'll take note of that as well.
I'll take a ride by it by the weekend.
You
Yeah.
will come?
Yeah,
I'll be there.
I'm quite sure that Mr. Simone and people from the highway department have saw it too.
Usually I'm home most of the time because I've been sick with my sciatica.
ooh, I hope you feel better. Yeah, some of us will take like
No,
Councilman
and then
Borelli said he
enough
will,
is
I'll take a
enough.
ride
I'm
over.
sorry.
Yeah, and,
This is, this is a saga.
yeah, all right, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and I
I
feel,
wish you
and
heart
feel
was
better.
here. I'm sorry.
Aw, thank you, I appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. Good night. Now, does any town board member have any comment? Anything? Nope.
4-H fairs this weekend.
Oh, yes, I'm bringing Ellie. Mike, you gonna bring your granddaughter? I'm bringing Ellie on Saturday. So, you have anything else? No? All right, so the meeting is, I call the meeting to end. I don't need a motion because we didn't do it, so that's it. Everyone have a wonderful night. Drive safe in the rain, and that's it. Thank you.
Good night.